Keira Knightley was very lucky to have met me at one of the film premieres. It was the Duchess premiere. She asked me, she said, "Did you enjoy the movie?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, it's great. And then it's crap." The only good bit was when she got naked, but I didn't think it appropriate to tell her that at the time. But so she was like, "Oh wow, you got Olympic gold medal," and it was all, big buzz at the time. So she had the medal, and I was standing next to her with an empty champagne glass, which is what gave me the courage to speak to her in the first place. And they took a load of photos, and the next day it's on the front of the London paper, and I'm getting all these texts from my friends who've received the London paper, and it's, "You bastard, what are you doing with Keira Knightley?" So these sort of things and these sort of experiences are really random and rare, and I think we're very lucky as Olympic athletes to get these. And there's all sorts of other things I've been doing as well. For whatever reason, I decided to do some triathlons. So my first ever triathlons, I did the human race organised one. The men's fitness rough track was my very first triathlon. So I thought, right, triathlon, what's that involve? Running, or swimming, rather. So swimming, biking, and running. Okay, I've got a bike, I've got my paddling shorts, they'll be for swimming, and I've got a pair of goggles and got my trainers and I know how to run. So I rock up there and it's like flipping freezing at Eton. So everyone else has got wetsuits, okay? So I go to Blue 70, "Get a wetsuit please," yeah. "Have you ever worn one before?" No, only for surfing, okay. Like, "Okay, you put it on like this," I'm like, "Yeah, okay, that's really quite hard to get a dry wetsuit on. Is it going to come off as easily as everyone else seems to make it look?" It's like, "Yeah, don't worry, it's fine." So got in the water for the first ever triathlon I just copied everybody else. I saw them hanging their bike up there, I saw how they put their helmet and they put their shoes down and they did this. I thought, okay, well, yeah, he looks really good, so I'll just do whatever he does. So I copied all them and you sit in the water, and it's great because it was an in-water start. You feel completely anonymous because you're wearing a black wetsuit, you're wearing a green cap just like everybody else, you're wearing a set of goggles. No one knows who you are, that's fine, there's no pressure on you. And the guy starting the race says, "Yep, today we've got Tim Brabants, Olympic gold medalist. Give us a wave, Tim." Hello. Needless to say, feet in the face, kick, pulled, everything else. It's like, oh, this is great. I love triathlon. This is just a great introduction to the sport. They're really sportsmanly and, give you a kicking right off the start. I had no idea where I was in this race. I'd only ever swum in a pool before. I've been surfing, so I've been swimming in the sea, but I'd only ever swum in a pool. So all of a sudden you've got nothing to really gauge whether you're swimming in completely the wrong direction or not. All I had was 2 black eyes from people kicking me, and sort of blurred vision as a result of that. So I was just trying to follow people in front of me and follow around the boys and back in, and ran out of the water. And yeah, much to my delight, the wetsuit came off really, really quickly, and nothing else came off underneath it. So that was good. That was all working well. So I got to my bike, got my towel, started drying my feet, put my socks on, be comfortable, and everyone's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Well, I'm gonna dry my feet, put my socks on, and get on my bike, because I don't get blisters when I'm cycling." I'm having a good old laugh at that, and then I come in from the bike bit, take my shoes off, get my trainers on, start doing my laces up, and they're laughing at me again. "You've got laces, you've got elastic laces. Everyone's got elastic laces, and they've got this, and they've got that, you just got to go." But so that was my first triathlon, and there's these guys laughing at me, so when I passed them all on the run and won the triathlon, I said, "No, it's not too bad, this triathlon. I'll give it another go." I mean, needless to say, I'm not a viewer in the room at the time I was competing against, because I doubt very much I would have won it otherwise. And then, I went and did my second one, and this, again, I was with these guys who've got these really fancy bikes and this sort of thing. "How many triathlons have you done before?" "I've done one." And sort of laughing at me and this kind of thing. Same old thing in the water, Tim Brabants, Olympic gold medalist, hello, kick, smash, bang. And I passed them all on the run, and so I won that one too. But seriously, I know I'm telling these stories, and I'm not meaning to belittle triathlon whatsoever. I'm a little bit outnumbered here. It is a great sport. I mean, my main point is I came back off the Olympic Games into a sport that I'd never done before and absolutely loved it. You're fit and you're strong and you've seen it and you've watched it. Out in Beijing, we shared an apartment with Alistair Brownlee, and I can't remember the name of the other guy. What was his name? Simon? Will Clark was the other guy. I do not know who they were taught to in terms of keeping house proud or anything like that. The apartment was a state. We were in there for one night, and those guys I think had been going out every night for however long, and just clothes and everything all over the place. And we came in there, so I don't know if that's a common thing through triathletes to be really poorly sort of house proud, but it was that was sort of my experience of triathletes up until that point, and since then it's just been great. They kick you and they punch you and they laugh at you when you don't know when you're drying your feet and try and knock you over and that sort of thing. But also, I mean, you get to go to all sorts of fancy dinners and things as well, and a lot of them are like sort of the Olympic sponsors and tier sponsors and things, so you've got to be really nice and polite to the table hosts. But the other thing, I was on a Weetabix table, and they're sort of saying, "What do you eat for breakfast?" Oh, clearly. I eat Weetabix every day. And they're like, "Oh, that's great, well, give us your address and we'll send you some cereal." So a couple of days later, I had 24 boxes of Weetabix and 24 boxes of Oatabix arrive through the post. So I was like, this is brilliant. So the next meal I went to, I was on the Cadbury's table. And this is not a lie, I promise you this. And talking to them, I was sitting between the MD and then the marketing director there. And we were talking about the Whisper Bars and how great the advertising campaign was, and childhood memories of Whisper Bars and how it must have been great for them, that there was a big campaign and then blah blah blah. And he's like, "Yeah, that's cool." So when afterwards he sent me an email and said, "Oh, what's your address?" I was like, "Oh, hello." So I gave my address. Sure enough, 2 days later, 100 bars of Whispers arrived. There was a coffee table I was on, Nespresso, and like 2 days later I get this really nice Nespresso coffee machine with all these capsules and things, and absolutely brilliant, and given a BA Olympic gold card now. So when we travel as part of a team, I can go in the first class lounge, I can take one guest. Doesn't matter what airline I'm flying or where I'm flying to, I can take one guest. So it's brilliant. I can just pick one person and then laugh at everybody else as they buy their sandwiches from Smith's. But it's kind of get your own back time, because I mean, in team sports, when you're away on a trip, on training camps and things, you've got to keep your wits about you all the time. You know who your friends are. You leave your phone lying around, and within 10 seconds, your dad's got a text message saying you're gay. I'm sure that happens in most sports, or maybe not. And certainly, the quality of the female competitors in triathlon is way above what we get in kayaking. They actually have to do a lot of gender testing in our sport, which is never ever a good thing to be involved in a sport like that. Yesterday, I was at Trent Bridge Cricket Ground. I was asked to go in there. I've never actually felt more like I wanted to be a deputy mayor than I did last night. I'm sure you understand and can relate to that. No? Well, yesterday I was asked to do a toast, and so it was on the list, the toast list. You've got Deputy Mayor doing his toast and Tim Brabants doing his toast, blah blah blah. Deputy Mayor stands up, the Queen sits down, that's it. And they say, "Now Tim Brabants is going to talk for about 20 minutes and then propose a toast." 20 minutes? I thought I was just going to do it, borrow Rushcliffe, boom, sit down. But these sort of things, they kind of throw at you sometimes, and that's, essentially the downside of the Olympics. But, hang on, I need to get this in. No, in reality, now for me, it is really back down to reality. Last week I've been working sort of 12-hour shifts back in A&E. The ironic thing is I don't get paid for any of it, because I've not worked for 3 years. For some reason they don't want me to pay me, and they might not think I'm completely safe seeing patients just yet. But they are thankful, because with this weather we're having, obviously with all the snow, it's been really difficult to get to work. So I normally cycle into work, and on a mountain bike just goes whiz across the snow and it's all fine. And the other day it was particularly dangerous, and I thought, well, one way or another I'm going to end up in A&E, whether it's on my bike or in the back of an ambulance, I'll be there. And on the board when I came in, I was one of only 3 doctors to be in out of about 8, and everyone had all these excuses like snow, and one person had no 4x4. I thought that was a particularly lame excuse. No 4x4 cannot come to work. I must have my 4x4. Yeah, my Porsche doesn't want to take it out of the garage. So. You know how that feels. But seriously, I mean, in coming to this environment, meeting the triathletes and things, and having taken part in a few triathlons, it's a fantastic sport. I really, really like it. It's accessible to everybody. You know, everybody can swim pretty much. Everybody can ride a bike. Everybody can run. And you know, the level and the depth of talent you need to be able to take part in a triathlon is really, really low. To be really good at it, you have to be a flipping excellent athlete. And I think that's one of the best things about this sport, is that whatever level you're at, you can be really, really good at it. And there was one of the coaches, I mean, I quite like some of my sayings and my phrases and things like that, not ones that I come up with, because the ones that I come up with are crap. It's like my jokes. I got asked in an interview a little while ago, just before the Olympics, it was this, the Guardian talk, Olympic or small talk or something like that, and they kind of just fire these questions at you, and one of them was actually Keira Knightley or Scarlett Johansson. And I went, Scarlett Johansson, definitely. And I didn't tell Keira that when I met her. I'm pretty sure she hadn't read the article either. But one of the other ones was, yeah, tell us a joke. I was like, well, the only jokes I know really are kind of medical jokes and not very funny. And so I told them this joke about, did you hear what happened to the short-sighted circumciser? He got the sack. And they printed it. I was amazed. I thought that was going to be it for me. I thought, struck off the GMC. And the other joke I told, which thankfully they also printed, was about how, I was examining a patient and I said, okay, well, we need to examine you thoroughly, so if you can just take off all your clothes and put them over there in the corner next to mine. But they printed that too, and still I've somehow got a job. But going back, not paid, good point. Going back to finally, so you can all get on with the awards this evening. There's plenty of them. That's the thing, I've been to lots of these awarded evenings. So the difficult thing is you go to a lot of schools and the kids that are coming up on stage, they're really, really nervous, so they have a really sweaty hand. So you shake your hand, or shake their hand, your hand becomes sweaty. The next kid, you shake their hand, they think, oh, that Tim Brabants, he's got a really sweaty hand. So I was talking to someone else about this who goes to a lot of awards, and he's like, okay, well, all you've got to do is you shake the hand and then you clap them off, and as you clap, you wipe your hand. So if you watch my clapping technique tonight, you know the person that I just shook hands with has got a really sweaty hand. Okay. But no, so triathlon, brilliant. Basically, if I'm failing, I'll just say triathlon's brilliant. You all smile and laugh and nod, yeah, if you do. Anyone's got a free nice bike, I'm quite happy to accept it. If you're saying triathlon's brilliant however many times. No, I think with the London Olympics coming up, it's going to be a fantastic event with the venues and the iconic London having triathlon in that area will just be brilliant. And I think the way the sport's growing, the way it's developing, and with the results you're producing, not just in the Olympic distances, but obviously with Chris in the Ironman and everyone else in this room who's producing great things. It springs to mind a quote from one of my coaches. He said that excellence isn't an act, it's a habit. And I think the way triathlon's going at the moment is making a great habit of being an excellent sport. And I wish it the best of luck. And at 90 kilos, don't be scared. I'm not going to be there and lining up on the start line in 2012 in a tri-suit. So basically, good luck with everyone here tonight, and enjoy the weekend. And thank you very much.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.